Hi everyone, welcome to Things Lucy Reads. I'm Luce and this is a flip through of my brand new bullet journal. So the first month in this one is October 2018, this month. The brand of this is something I forget, Otto I think. It's from Officeworks. Don't know how I feel about it. I think the pages bleed a little bit too much, but we're getting through it. It had a couple of stickers on it and when I pulled it off they left a sticky residue, hence I got some pretty ones. So I've got The Facts Were These, which is a Pushing Daisies one, which I love that show, I'm obsessed with it. And then on the back I have the quote from The Last Jedi, "Hope is like the sun. If you only believe in it when you can see it, you'll never make it through the night." So covers up the residue and looks good and is inspo, hashtag inspo. So anyway, let's get into it. This is a dot grid journal. It has a built-in symbol key and index, which I haven't started yet, but maybe one day. This is what I mean by the bleed. I don't know if that's like normal or if it's too much. I don't remember what the page weight in this is. I think it's something like 160 or 170. It's not very thick. Anyway, first page in here is my washi collection. I tried to shadow it a little bit, didn't always work. It's a little bit shabby, but it was okay for a first try. Oh wow, shaking the tripod. Okay, so everything is very spooky for October. I have this bronze starry washi tape and the headings are surrounded with a gold metallic Sharpie. Alright, so October at a glance, things that are happening that I knew about at the start of the month. I didn't have anything to add throughout the month, so I'm going to use these for my book haul stats. This part of the page, I mean, is for those. And then October reading, the two books that I was currently reading from the last month. I'm really proud that I've got it down so low. And then I've got a little section here for summary at the end of the month and my TBR separated by ebooks, anthologies and regular novels. I didn't realize till after I started that A Feast of Sorrows is an anthology as well, but I think I still would have put it there even if I'd known, because it's an ebook, so you know. And to decorate I've got a ghostie and a little pumpkin. Okay, this page is inspired by Books and Lala. I found her first on Instagram and now I watch her on BookTube and she's so great, and I think her Bujos look great even though they're fairly, well, she thinks they're fairly simple. I think they're amazing. But yeah, I saw her do this and she would just post pictures in her stories of her filling it in and I would just be totally mesmerized. So I knew that it was one of the things I wanted to do when I started my own Bujo. She does it like a different color for every book and then fills that book in with that color, but that didn't actually work for me with only 3 colors. So I ended up abandoning the multicolors and only using purple for this, which is pages read per day. And I also abandoned filling in the books on the stack after a while, just because the purple was so dark, and I don't know if you can actually see it, but it smudged my actual like titling a little bit, so I decided not to, and I think it's much neater and nicer not colored in. I actually had to add a couple more books at the top, or I think I will, because I've deviated from my TBR a little bit and I drew 13, which was how many on my TBR, but I've read others. So hopefully we'll get to them. And I've also penciled in the titles of books on my TBR, like in the order that I think I'm going to read them. Okay, so the next page is my habit tracker. Again, this was inspired by someone else. This is a Journal with Peggy on Instagram. I just think this looks really cool. It reminds me of one of those like disco floors, or I don't remember if it was an old computer screensaver or used to be common in music videos, but it just looked very familiar to me and I thought I could put a spider web in the middle and it'll look great, and it does. This is my tracking of reading books in anthologies. So I finished Power and Magic, Kissing the Witch and Immortal Souls. I got halfway through The Bloody Chamber and gave up because I hated it. And part of the way through Toil and Trouble, and then I had to add in Feast of Sorrows because I didn't realise it was an anthology till later. But it's fine. It's fine. And then I have my book haul on this page. I was going to run out of room for stats, which is why I put them on a different page. And then on this page I have my October to be watched, and I have a little screen here with I don't know how well you can see it, but that is white glitter washi, which I am obsessed with. Yeah, so I've made pretty good headway on this. I should probably watch a few today, otherwise I'm not going to make it by the end of the month. But yeah, I finished this season of Penny Dreadful, which was the first one, and then bought the second two, and I've been watching those, but they're not actually on my list, so what can you do? And then that's the end of November. Oh, sorry, that's the end of October, and then November is just titles so far. But I'm actually going to take an idea from the Books and Lala again and do reading stats. In her Plan With Me July Bujo video, which I will link just here, she did this with just like little X's, and I thought that was really great, so I'm going to have it next to my book haul. Oh, you can see here I creased the page when I was erasing something on the other side. Yeah, so I'm going to do it too. So I'm going to compare books I read that are queer versus non-queer, own voices versus not, white versus not, books written by women, non-binary people, men, or anthologies that are mixed, books I read in ebook, physical or audio, or a combination, books on my TBR versus books not on my TBR, and then books that I've read here and books that I've bought here with a lot of space because there's going to be a lot of them probably. So, only 1 month so far. Hopefully the next time I do one of these I'll have a few more to show you and it will be even more interesting. Yeah, that's my second Bujo. I'm liking it a lot better. I feel like I can do more things with it. I don't know. I just like dot grid so much better than lined. Your mileage may vary, but yeah. Yeah, I'm really proud of this so far, even though I've only got 1 month. I think it looks great and it just makes me happy every time I open it. So, yeah. Feel free to leave me a comment about anything, about your Bujo experience, about what you think of mine. If you've made Bujo videos yourself, feel free to link them down below. I'd love to check them out. I love to see what people do in their journals. So, yeah. That is all for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!